This is the second part of our video series on ethical concerns in brain chips. Now that we were done with the introduction, we will finally discuss the ethical concerns that we've all been waiting for. Ethical concerns. As with any revolutionary technology, the development of brain chips raises serious ethical questions, primarily due to their interconnection with the human brain. As a result, we have highlighted 5 key concerns regarding the sustainable and ethical development of brain chips. Number 1. Privacy and censorship. As brain chip technology continues to evolve to inevitably become available for commercial use, ethical concerns arise regarding how large companies may use or misuse and access our thoughts. Customers will be unable to control what companies extract from their brains. This may easily include private information, which then brings forth questions about the appropriateness of using personal information. Employees may also be mandated to receive brain chips implants for large companies under the excuse of being able to monitor employee productivity and daily routines. Lastly, the possibility of forced monetization, unavoidable advertisement systems, and information blackmail become very troubling but very real possibilities. Policymaking will require time, and the rapid development of brain chips may not allow for this. Number 2. Alterations in thought process. Because brain chips are directly connected to the brain's neural signals and pathways, which are responsible for the brain's thoughts and actions, being able to theoretically alter an individual's thought processes without the patient's awareness becomes a frightening concern. Subtle alterations, such as prompting a patient to purchase a company's newest product line, are serious concerns that must be addressed. Drawing back to the employee situation, alterations such as sending a message to the brain to state that it is not yet tired may boost the employee's work efficiency. Even if this does not have lasting effects, it is still immoral to alter another's thoughts. This brings forth an essential and difficult question regarding consent. Even if a person consents to certain work conditions, such as allowing these alterations, it is hard to decide whether the choice would be considered truly autonomous. There is no clear way of understanding whether actions were made completely by one's free will, or if the brain chip was an influence that would negate the value of consent. The line between personal thoughts and controlled actions become blurred. Number 3. Potential for hacking and exploitation. Another real concern for brain chips is their potential to become targets for cybercriminals and cyber warfare. This concern continuously grows as we move into a future dominated by neural technologies, as hacking and exploitation bring the possibility of cyber hostages. As the brain chip is directly embedded in an individual's brain, they would become helpless against its actions if security were to be infiltrated. If a brain chip company's cybersecurity were to be breached, hackers may gain direct access to the brains and thus the sensitive information of many people. When a person's brain could be held hostage from any location on any device in the world, unavoidable and widespread danger emerges during cyber warfare. Although a bit of a stretch, it is not impossible that if someone were to gain control over the brain chip of a high-ranking individual in a government, they may gain immediate access to confidential information. Number 4. Monopolization of data and information. By nature, the data required to advance neuroscience and brain chip technology is often accessible only to large, well-established companies with the necessary resources and affiliations. This creates a negative cycle where these companies dominate the field of research and the market, as their exclusive access to critical information allows them to continue advancing their technologies, further reinforcing their monopoly and limiting inclusive innovation. The large amount of data available in a patient's brain raises questions about how companies are able to ethically make use of this data. Essential knowledge, such as neural patterns, may be found in a patient's brain, but accessing this information without consent violates customer privacy. Policies must be made to enforce boundaries in the human brain. And lastly, number 5. AIs and human autonomy. Some brain chip patients have reported experiencing a blurring of identity and a loss of autonomy after the integration of AIs into their brain chips. AI intervention in a user's day-to-day life for even the most basic tasks, such as communication, has caused some patients to question their sense of self. When AIs begin to assist in regulating emotions, even when positively doing so, such as combating depression episodes, patients have prompted the consideration of whether our feelings still truly belong to us. Patients have described how it was difficult to differentiate their own actions from those of AI assistants and how it caused them to undervalue their own capabilities. Rather than being technical, this ethical concern raises a philosophical question about the nature of selfhood and free will. Patients must fully understand the risks of a loss of autonomy and the irreversibility of the situation. Even if the brain chip were to be successfully removed, a lasting sensation of a loss of self may remain in all patients. This brings us to the end of our second video on ethical concerns in brain chips. Today, we went over the bulk of the topic and discussed in detail some of the major obstacles in the development of brain chips. Next time, we will work over some potential solutions to these discussed issues.